do bad things, but make your mama say, wish you never met me. Baby, it's true, I rip through the chains, chew my muzzle off, and I'm coming your way. Don't care what you think about me. Reckless fantasy. Yeah, I'll be what I be. There's nothing you can say that's gonna change me. Running free. Running free. 'Cause I'm running free. Yeah. I bring the danger. I bring the fire. I'm not a stranger to slashing up tires. Don't disrespect me. I grab the wheel. Get in a frenzy, make a scene, and I do. I wanna do bad things, but make your mama say, wish you never met me. Baby, it's true, I rip through the chains, chew my muzzle off, and I'm coming your way. Don't care what you think about me. Reckless fantasy. Yeah, I'll be what I be. There's nothing you can say that's gonna change me. Running free. Running free. 'Cause I'm running free.
Welcome, race fans, to the Phillips Wraps and Graphics Late Model Tour, presented by Slingshot Racing League. I am Johnny Rapp, and I'm joined in the Slingshot TV booth tonight by Justin Wilson and James Moore. Tonight we head to Hampton, Virginia for race number 6 of the season and the second race of the PWG Triple Crown, the Undercut and Overheard Clash at Langley Speedway. Folks, this isn't just a racetrack. It's a time capsule with a punch. Originally a dirt horse track known as Dude Ranch, it saw the likes of Richard Petty and Ned Jarrett conquering its dust before it was paved in 1968. This very asphalt hosted the final Grand National race in 1970 before the series transformed into the Winston Cup Series we all know and love. At just 4/10 of a mile and 6 degrees of banking, Langley is known for putting on exciting racing. From modifieds to late models and everything in between, the Speedway is host to a variety of grassroots racing series to this day, including the second leg of the Virginia Triple Crown, the Hampton Heat 200. Well, the heat is about to be turned up tonight for our late model drivers with 125 grueling laps on the board. Bringing home the win is going to be a challenge, as drivers will need to manage their tires and tempers to put themselves in the best position to take that checkered flag. Before we fire the engines for the heats, it's time to step trackside for the playing of the national anthem.
Oh yeah, that national anthem never gets old. But before we get down trackside, let's take a look at our point standings as we're going into just past the halfway point of our season, kind of kicking off the second half. So far, we've seen it the last 4 races were dominated by Kyle Terzac, and as you can see, the points pretty much reflect such. Braxton DeWise has pretty much finished second behind him every single race, 19 points behind, but don't leave out Chris Finch. Granted, he had a kind of a bad race last week, but used it as a drop week. Only 24 back. Devin Jack, Aiden Neese, Garrett Lane, all these guys are still in contention as we only, as we have 5 races remaining. You see on the other half, Benson Weaver, Martin Picatelli, all very, very close battle there for 7th place. And a little further back, James Danforth, Robert Brobst, and Ryan Bittler back there in 12th.
Yeah, still anybody's game for sure, but we definitely have some contenders up front that are really staking their claim for this championship fight. Going to move into our pre-race stories before we get everything underway here. Bottom or bust, we have the... man, this track is so flat, so short. Man, you can run right down in the grass on the in the corners, on the apron, and it's going to make for an exciting show.
Yeah, without a doubt, you're going to have to protect the bottom at all costs, because I just don't see you being able to hold the run on the outside like we've seen at all these other tracks with a little more banking. Going into number 2, restarts. Man, restarts are going to be key, just like they are every week. Really no different story there, right? That's the most opportune time to capitalize on positions, especially those guys are going to be stuck in that top line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, man, you got to get that track position when you can, and that clean air is priority number 1, it seems. So far in this series, we saw Kyle Terzac last week just get out front and be able to control the race at his own pace, manage his tires, and, man, that's going to move us into managing your temper. I'll tell you what, tight corridor here at Langley Speedway, and it's going to be really easy to get frustrated with your fellow competitors out here with some of the door-to-door action we're going to see.
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're going to see drivers that are probably just going to send it down into the grass while you're kind of just on that racing lane. It might get you a little fired up, but the biggest thing that kind of we want to follow is, you see number 5? We got a guy in here going for number 5 in a row, that is. Can Kyle Terzac hold off, this charging field and bring home another win?
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what, if I was a betting man, I would, I'd bet on him, because right now he's top of the board in practice, and yeah, it's very, very likely that we see that happen. Obviously, a past champion here in the late model series on a Slingshot, then Spark, and yeah, definitely a top contender and very likely, or very capable of going 5 in a row here. We're going to look at our schedule coming up with just 4 races left here. And yeah, it's kind of going off the screen there a little bit at the bottom, but you'll see it all right here on Slingshot TV. Next week is going to be 5 Flags. Man, one of my favorite short tracks. Definitely going to be exciting to see these cars there. Then we're going to Stafford and then USA, rounding everything off at North Wilkesboro on March 16th.
A track that kind of looking forward to is USA. It kind of reminds me of these late models, kind of like a New Hampshire in a way. Not quite as big, but those really long straightaways, very tight corners.
Sure to be a good show.
Welcome back to the booth, Jimmy Moore. We still have you in here as James. We're going to have to change that, but yeah, I'm sure. I think you just did some pre-race interviews, got some good information for us for this race.
Absolutely. A lot of drivers had a lot to say. I'm expecting I got some really conflicting reports, honestly. I had 2 drivers tell me that they're expecting green flag runs, and 2 drivers expecting if we get more than 3 consecutive green flag laps. So, drivers across the field not sure what to be expecting tonight, but that makes for a good show if you ask me.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And tell you what, while the drivers are getting suited up for qualifying, we're going to step away for just a moment. I'm sorry, I'm losing my breath here. Yeah, we're going to go to an ad for Whiplash Sim Cams. We really appreciate their partnership here with Slingshot TV. All the cameras you see us using week in and week out are provided by them. and we certainly appreciate it. Go check them out if you want some cameras for yourself. All right, back here live as these cars are getting qualified. We do have a giveaway here tonight. Play along in the chat, and you have, enter for a chance to win a free pack of Panini NASCAR trading cards. And there is a chance that some of them are signed by a driver. So pretty cool thing we got going on here. Get in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for and play along with the trivia and everything here tonight. It's going to be an exciting one to give away.
Absolutely. You know, we love getting the chance to interact with the chat, give away these cards, something we're really enjoying doing every week. Gives us a chance to talk to you guys, gives you guys a better chance to talk to us, keep us all engaged. Not that we need it too much, we got so much action on track, but still, we certainly enjoy the extra bit of engagement. Real quick,
moving
Johnny,
on, I think
pop an interview.
Let's pull up Jacob. Look at that. Great minds think alike.
Great minds do think alike. Let me grab him really quick. One.
Oh, he's gone.
All right, we'll bring him in here now. Jacob Phillips, he just got out of the car in qualifying, currently sitting on the second fastest lap time, out qualifying most of the competition. How's the car feel tonight?
Car feels pretty solid. Pretty good rotation. A lot of bite on corner exit. Great entry. A little loose on entry, but that's perfect for this track, especially with how wide but yet tight these corners are, how flat this track is.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking back to last week, we talked in our pre-race interview, you and I, about how you didn't have a great run last week. How are you looking to fix that for this week to see if we can get a better result?
Just playing the game of patience, man. This track requires a lot of patience. It's easy to run over the guy in front of you, and patience is going to be the biggest thing. Just not running over everybody in front of me and not getting run over. So that's going to be the key, trying to keep pace with Kyle and Braxton. You know, they're both quick, but I'm within a couple hundredths of the two of them in pace, so I feel pretty comfortable, pretty confident.
What are you expecting out of tonight? I know you told me pre-race you thought we might get a couple long runs in here tonight. You still feeling confident about that?
I do think we could probably see at least one, if not two, pretty decently long runs. We got a great group of drivers out here on the track. All these guys out here know how to handle these cars, and all race pretty respectfully around each other. So it would not surprise me to see us get at least one, maybe two flag runs. Maybe some incidental contact.
Yeah,
I see
certainly.
that.
Well, Jacob, we certainly appreciate you hopping up in here with us to chat before the races get underway. We wish you the best of luck tonight, and hopefully we'll be talking to you in the podium interviews later.
Right on, I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you. It is Jacob Phillips, driver of the number 56 car, going to be rolling off fourth tonight after the invert. We have now entered our warm-up session here. Drivers get one last chance to take to the track, feel out their cars, see how they feel before we get into some racing tonight. Johnny, what else do we want to get into tonight before we get rolling?
Yeah, well, hey, that's interesting. There's supposed to be a heat, but I think we had so few drivers that it bypassed the heat. So I guess we're gonna tune into this warm-up session, keep an eye on how everybody's doing here, and then then we'll be getting to a live racing. That kind of threw everything off. We kind of planned for that heat racing action, but
well, you know.
Gonna say, nonetheless, man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We got, week in, week out on West 8 in the chat. Hello, race fans. Should be going tonight. Always rooting for that number 8 with Braxton DeWise. We got, who is this? Peach? I can't even pronounce that, but it says it's his home track. Let's go. And then obviously I see the Undercut and Overhead podcast. Love me some free trading cards. Hope you enjoy the clash at Langley. But yeah, thank you for everybody tuning in. Keep tuning in. Again, we got that free trading card pack that we'll be giving away today as well.
Yeah, this does give us a good opportunity here, James. Jimmy, you can take us through a little bit about the Undercut and Overheard podcast. We appreciate you coming on board and sponsoring the series here, as well as helping us out in the booth. And tell people what they can expect to see.
Well, I love you putting me on the spot like that. That's absolutely great. Absolutely no time to prepare what I'm going to say. Undercut and Overheard is a passion project of mine. Me and my really good friend Meigs have put this all together, trying to build a community of race car fans who acknowledge that racing doesn't necessarily have the best image in terms of building that diverse fan base, and we're looking to change that. We're here for, the slogan that we always use is Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. We're here for the girlies, here for everyone who's ever felt like they don't belong at a racetrack, covering every motorsport that you can imagine up at the top. We are there whether you're into 2 wheels or 4 wheels, NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula 1, MotoGP, a little bit of motocross if it's relevant, IMSA, WEC, whatever's under the sun that's got wheels, we're going to find a reason to talk about it. Super proud to be part of this series here. Super happy to be coming on board, and we just really hope you guys tune in. Our link tree is in the description. Give us a shout. You'll see us chatting in the YouTube chat. You can get to our channel there. Daytona 500 episode went up earlier today. It's a good listen. Go give it a watch. Let us know what you think.
We certainly appreciate it, and yeah, go check it out. Definitely an interesting thing if you're into motorsports in general, not just one type, not just short tracks, not just NASCAR, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Might have to, are you accepting guests? Maybe we can have Johnny Rapp on there one night, but...
Ooh, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to find a way to bring you in there. Talk about all the Slingshot racing stuff. We got so much good stuff going on here, too, with Slingshot. Super cool league to be a part of, as well as Slingshot TV, doing great things. We get great engagement in the chat every night. We're so happy you guys are all here with us. It's a great community to be a part of. Come, if you're in the chat, come run some of these races with us. You could be out here on track with these guys tonight in our Wednesday league. We've got more leagues coming up that we're going to be looking to start here soon. Come join us. It's a great time.
It absolutely is. And yeah, just a minute left in this warm-up session, giving us kind of a look into how fast everybody's going to be, maybe under race pace a little more than just Q trim. Right now, Kyle Terzac, no surprise, up at the top of the board. Dylan Potts in that number 2, riding in second right now in the pits, but put down a pretty good lap there.
But did you see how gorgeous that number 1 car is? Did you see how gorgeous the number 1 Undercut and Overheard Chevy Camaro is? Shout out Tom Went TW3 Designs for that beautiful paint scheme. Our driver Benson Weaver. Probably going to cause a few accidents tonight if we're being honest, but we're here for him. We picked him because he's a fun kid to watch. He's a great driver, super respectful on the track as long as your last name isn't Brobst. All these guys in this league just really, really race well with each other. I think that's one of the perks that we see here. Look at last week. We had such a long run there to finish out that race. We had 2 really good long runs. I feel like the racing is just getting more and more competitive every week.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blast to watch. And one thing you can watch tonight is the heart rate of Robert Probst in that number 5 machine. That'll be periodically up on the top right. You can see it right there. He's pretty amped up in the warm-up session here. He's ready to get this thing underway. And so are we, as we're about to hit the pre-race grid with the invert. Looks like Chris French is going to be the one starting up front with Devin Jack on his outside. Dylan Potts in that beautiful number 2 starting in 3rd. And Jacob Phelps in that number 56. He's going to kill me if I don't mention it, but he's running that Dodge Challenger just for me tonight. That thing is looking beautiful on the outside line in P4.
Yeah, Braxton DeWise in the number 8 machine, bringing it 5th. 2nd place in qualifying, 5th with the invert. And to his outside, the championship leader, Kyle Terzac, in the 15 car. It's super fun to watch coming through the field. In 7th, Robert Probst, and to his outside, Benson Weaver in the Undercut and Overheard machine. Rolling off 9th tonight, we've got Ryan Hinkle in the 21 machine with Garrett Lane on his outside. His cars begin to roll now. Starting 11th, we've got Randy Gross in the 31 machine, followed by James Danforth in the number 88 machine. Gorgeous race car we see every week, that Napa car, always looking spiffy. And the tail of the field, someone had to come last, and this week it's Brian Probst. It says Mason Wilson up there. Don't think he's going to be making the green flag tonight, so Brian Probst will be your final starter tonight. Justin, what are we thinking on the restart here? How aggressive do you need to be early? What are we thinking we're going to see these first few laps?
Honestly, we're going to see the same thing we see every week. We're going to see that 3rd row of Braxton DeWise and Kyle Terzac charge as quickly as possible as they can to the front, because one thing about Langley is you can get stuck in this traffic and it'll be hard to pass.
Yeah, we heard last week in his post-race interview, Braxton DeWise talking about how maybe he needed to game qualifying a little bit more to try to get a better start on the invert. Didn't do that this week, and you'll notice 3rd place in the championship, Chris French did do that. Qualified 6th, but that puts him up at the front for the leading. He's shown time and time again he can keep up with these leaders. As we have green flag in the air, Chris French gets a great restart, but to his outside, Devin Jack holding firm on the outside. Jacob Phillips in the 56 Dodge Challenger is alone there in the 2nd row as they are side by side for the lead. No, Devin Jack finally clears. On the outside there, he's got Jacob Phillips looking to his inside. Behind them, Dylan Potts, closely followed by Kyle Terzac and Braxton DeWise. These guys need to make short work of these guys, or like Justin said, you're going to be mired in traffic for a while. Let's look at Braxton DeWise get to the inside there, Dylan Potts. Kyle Terzac backed out, realized the outside wasn't quite going to work for him. Settles back in. Now he's going to be the one chasing Braxton DeWise.
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck on that outside. I mean, everybody that was stuck on the top either forced their way to the bottom or they went all the way to the back.
Yeah, you see these guys going well below the apron here in both corners. I talked to Benson Weaver pre-race. He mentioned to me that you can get a lot of that apron and make it work, but it's really hard to make the car stick down there. So you see a guy like Braxton DeWise making short work of these guys down there. It just speaks to how much pace Braxton DeWise has as he makes his way easily by Devin Jack. And now you've got Kyle Terzac looking to the inside of Devin Jack there in turns 1 and 2. Wrapping the bottom. Great move. Terzac's going to be clear going into turn 3. Nearly, gets the move done as he keeps his eyes forward on Braxton DeWise, who is currently sitting in the 3rd spot, I believe, is what I'm looking at. Yeah, our ticker's not quite updated. There it is. Now our ticker's updated. Sorry about that. Yeah, Chris French leads the way. Jacob Phillips tracking him down. Braxton DeWise hard charging, trying to get up there with both of those guys. You got to wonder, do you slow down a little bit to take care of your tires here, or is this a race where you're going to push for all 125 laps, Justin?
No, you take it easy once you got the lead. I mean, if I'm Braxton, especially with that hard charge of 15 behind me, I'm trying everything I can to pass these two in front of me, but it's going to be tough because, as you can see, Jacob Phillips is making the move on Chris French here. They're going to be side by side, and that's going to allow Terzac to probably catch Braxton here.
Yeah, look at this battle for the lead. Side by side across the stripe. Give the advantage to Jacob Phillips there. They're just barely. Chris French all the way up in that second, nearly 3rd lane you'd call it, as Jacob Phillips gets clear. Jacob did tell us in that interview how excited he was for tonight. And he told me he spoke on that a little bit more in our pre-race interview. This is his home track. Really wants to do good here tonight, and he's showing it right now, storming to the front. after starting 4th, I believe. What a great performance out of Jacob Phillips so far, but don't look in that mirror too much. You'll see Braxton DeWise getting bigger and bigger by the lap.
And one thing to note about Jacob Phillips is that he is the only other winner this season other than Kyle Terzac. I know Braxton DeWise has been up there. You'd think he would have won a couple by now, but Jacob Phillips won that first race of the season, and then Kyle has gone 4 in a row since then.
Yeah, it's just been utter dominance by Kyle Terzac. But currently on the back foot here is Justin. You were about to chime in. Tell us what you're thinking.
No, I was going to say, and Jacob's right where he needs to be. Oh, Terzac with a slide and a half off of turn 4. But, you know, one thing we talked about in pre-race was just being in the lead is the place to be. You can control the pace of this race. I mean, if you just protect the bottom, you can run your own pace because that guy behind you is going to have to work to even get near, just even be able to get by you.
So if you are Braxton DeWise here, what is the move? Is the move to send it that extra little bit to the bottom on the apron there to get underneath of him? Or do you just ride in his tire tracks for a little bit and try to push him to use a little more tire than he wants to?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do a little bit of both. I mean, you can try to force the mistake. Maybe he might miss the corner. But, I mean, your best option is to try to just get a little bit of a better run and make him think you're going to dive bomb him. Kind of spook him a little. Learn that lesson. Learn that technique quite a few times. If Johnny probably knows.
It reminds me a lot of the old school NASCAR games where you could press the intimidate button and eventually the car in front of you would bobble and make an error just from you pressuring them. Makes me think of that a little bit. If you see Braxton DeWise, look at that line he takes off the corner. He's got that left front all the way below the line there, just trying to hook the bottom, trying to get a better run off of turn 4. I'm not quite sure if it's working out for him yet, but it remains to be seen. They're opening up a gap to Kyle Terzac in 3rd. Do we think Kyle Terzac is
a little bit
tires?
It may be. I mean, Kyle Terzac's under fire right now from our 3rd place in points of Chris French, as well as Devin Jack kind of stacking up behind him. So unsure if maybe he's just kind of logging laps, kind of waiting for the long run. But yeah, Kyle Terzac's falling off.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting to see is just looking at the lap times. That lap he was about a tenth faster than Braxton in front of him there, but super interesting strategy here. I definitely could see a world where he's kind of settled in, realized he doesn't want to be up there fighting, so he might be backing off a little bit just to see if he can save some tire and then make a charge later into this race.
I'd definitely like to come back, Johnny, if we have a second, and come check out Robert Probst. That heart rate monitor is just lit right now. 130 just a minute ago, 127.
Wow.
And you can see him just sliding off of these corners, in and out of them. You can tell he's working. You can just tell by the heartbeat monitor.
Yeah, he had a great little battle with Benson Weaver there for a couple laps there. Benson Weaver eventually able to get the better of him, but he's currently just trying to maintain right now. I think it's a story throughout the field right now.
I think we started talking about him and calm his heart rate down a little bit.
Yeah, he
We're
could
here
hear us.
We're here for you, Robert. We're here for you.
We're actually his therapist, in case you didn't know. Every time we talk, he calms down a little bit more because he knows he's on TV. And frankly, it's the opposite for me, but, you know, teach their own. Closest battle on track right now is still the battle for the lead. You've got Braxton and Jacob. They just throw a blanket over them. I mean, we get a little further back. We got another great battle going on between Ryan Hinkle and Randy Gross, it looks like, back here. About a tenth and a half between them. These two have been all over each other. We had a couple of cars side by side up there. Thank you very much, producer Johnny. Garrett Lane has made his way to the inside of Robert Probst. Robert Probst seems to have fallen off a little bit these last few laps. As up the track he goes. Garrett Lane on the bottom. Brian Probst nearly gets into the rear bumper of his cousin. That's going to make the family reunion a little awkward if something happens there. Back to the inside, Robert Probst with the crossover, trying to stick it to the inside, still there. Look at the run on the bottom. You just lose so much time around the top. Even someone who's not necessarily having a good race like Robert Probst can still get back by if he can just stay on the inside, and he brings Brian Probst through with him. Heck of a battle here we've got going on.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I'm watching with this number 5. We do have an extra set of tires in the pits, and Robert is using up all the good in the ones that he started on here. You can see that car just completely sideways on corner entry. He's really driving it off the right rear.
Be a good time for an onboard.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a good view of Robert Brope's working the wheel. I know Wednesday for the Grand National Series that SRL puts on, I was in Robert's call. We were talking throughout the course of that race, and he told me how much he hates saving tires. Doesn't think he's any good at it. And it's kind of showing right now. Look at him driving off these corners side by side now with his cousin Brian Bropes there on the bottom. Brian's going to get through here, but Robert Bropes just sawing at that wheel, trying to keep us. We got a car around. It's the 31 on the front stretch. The 31 car, Randy Gross. Looks like it might have been a single car incident there. Not too sure. The leader's coming up on him now. Sure, they're all going to go around before Randy gets moving again here. Might have a chance here after field passes. Let's see if we can figure out with the Slingshot TV instant replay. Johnny, take us through this.
Yeah, we see him battling here with Ryan Henkel. Man, I don't know. We might have went back a little too far. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, these cars a little loose, and you can see just right there, maybe a little too early back on the throttle. We're going to go get an onboard of this as well, see if we can hear it as it happens.
Yeah, rear end just comes around on him there. Tough to see. Coming off the corner, trying to get up on that car in front of him there. I think that's Garrett Lane up there, and the rear end just steps out from under him.
It was that transition of banking right there, just that little bit of banking. But yeah, that would definitely flip it around. But I'm gonna tell you who this caution did not play into the favor of, and that would be your second place driver, Braxton DeWise, because that's gonna put him on the outside. So unless he gets a really good start and or Jacob Phillips picks the top, right, Braxton's gonna have to fight hard to maintain his position here, especially with Terzac being in third. Excuse me.
I'm just a little curious here, guys. Why Brian Bropst has lost so much track position? He was battling up there with Robert and Benson for a few minutes there. Did he?
He pitted.
Trying to get a replay here. He might have come down pit road.
Okay. He came down and took right side tires.
Interesting decision there out of Brian Bropst. Might be a little early. We're only working lap 33 now. We'll see. We hear on the radio Jacob Phillips saying he's going to take the inside. In other news, grass is still green, folks. Only lane you really want to be in here is the inside, so can't really fault him for that one at all. But that certainly makes Braxton DeWise's life a little bit harder, because that gives Kyle Terzac, his championship rival, the inside starting spot there in the second row inside P3.
Well,
going to be a very fun restart here.
I don't think that Brian Bropes' pitting kind of thing is a mistake. I mean, this race has been giving off green flag vibes, so pitting now might not be a bad idea.
All right, we'll just have to wait and see. As the pace car is off, Justin Phillips with a good jump easily clears Braxton DeWise, and now they're going to be side by side for second place. Braxton DeWise, Kyle Terzac. This might have been the break Kyle Terzac needs, as Kyle Terzac is clear of Braxton DeWise going into turn 3. Braxton DeWise back on the back foot now. He was in front the first 30 laps. Now he's going to have to try to find a way through again. If you're Kyle Terzac and you were saving a little bit at the end of that run, do you go all out now to try to get the lead from Jacob Phillips?
Is the grass green at this track?
Fair enough. Thank you, Justin. Wonderful insight there. Oh, that was funny. Jacob Phillips pulling away. Someone tagged the wall there a little bit. Might have been Terzac. Not sure. But look at... Man, Jacob Phillips is pulling away from these guys a little bit. Looking at the lap times, he was a couple hundredths faster there than Kyle Terzac. I mean, he did say it was his favorite track, but I seem to recall Kyle Terzac saying the same thing last week when we were talking to him post-race.
Oh, Chris French is around on the front straightaway.
That's not what Chris French wants to see.
We have lost it. If one of you guys want to pull up your stream, we can pull it up.
That's wild. Mine did the exact same thing at the exact same time yours did.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Well, we're going to take just a second here to try to sort this out. We'll be right back. right, we are back. Some technical difficulties here. I'm gonna have to restart our overlays as well, but at least we can see the action. There was a caution on track, and yeah, I think
We'll come back and get it after this restart.
Yeah.
Caution was just Chris French on the bottom, doing the same thing essentially the 31 did. We are fixing to get back to green here in a moment, gentlemen. Cars. We've got the leaders coming through turn 3 and 4 right now. The pace car is off. Jacob
Sorry, once again, technical difficulties. Yes, my audio is back working. Man, just unfortunate night for Johnny on the producer side. But yeah, we're doing okay. We're back green here, and yeah, you've seen at least some of the live action here while we were gone.
Yes, just to get you guys caught up, Braxton DeWise had a really good shot there to take second back from Kyle Terzac, but not quite able to. Good side-by-side battle for a few laps there, as now Kyle Terzac has gotten free of Braxton DeWise and has been cleared to run down Jacob Phillips, continuing to hound Jacob Phillips. These two are on top of each other. Kyle Terzac's just looking for an excuse to send it down the inside, as he might have it here, looking to the bottom, not quite. Jacob Phillips slams the door shut, not leaving an inch ready, but Kyle Terzac with a run off the corner, looking to the inside. Jacob Phillips is going to try to drive it in deep, but Kyle Terzac a little bit better on the brakes. Is there going to be side-by-side? No, Terzac to the lead. Once again, looking for the 5-peat tonight as he clears Jacob Phillips. Jacob Phillips, great run up at the front, but not quite enough to hold off the hard-charging Kyle Terzac.
I'll tell you who is loving this, though. It's that number 8 of Braxton DeWise, as he's trying to pounce on that number 56 for second place. Looks to the inside, and we'll see if he's able to get that pass done and chase down his championship contender up in front.
Yeah, looks like Braxton DeWise is going to be able to do it here, working the bottom here. Jacob Phillips up in the top, not quite able to hold him off. Braxton DeWise gets clear. He's going to have to try to run down Kyle Terzac. Hasn't been able to do it on pace yet this year. Let's see what happens out here these next few laps. This is going to be fun to watch. Back in the field, Chris French, I believe, is hounding Benson Weaver. Yep, 2 is inside. Benson Weaver, Chris French, side by side, coming off of turn 4. Chris French going to get clear there. Might take James Danforth with him. Or Garrett Lane, I should say. Danforth, jeez, where is my head out? That's Garrett Lane to the bottom of Benson Weaver there. Benson trying to fight hard back on the outside, but it's a tough ask to do for anybody. Is now Brian Brobes. Brian Brobes spins the 1 car of Benson Weaver. It's a tragedy on the racetrack. Benson Weaver around backwards on the front stretch. You saw it live. Brian Brobes just getting to the inside there on the front stretch. Johnny, take us through that replay.
Yep, we're going to go back and get another look. We got it live there, but yeah, a little bit physical altercation down here between the 08 of Garrett Lane and Benson. You see Benson kind of getting pushed out of the way up top, and yeah, it looks like the 11 maybe pushes up a little bit on quarter exit, and Benson is just the the recipient of that front bumper. Nice little spin. Good job from Ryan Hinkle there, avoiding the one car there. Might have tagged the wall just a touch.
Kyle Terzac at the pit road. Bunch of people stayed out. Bunch of people followed him down. This is going to turn this race on its head. 4 cars stayed out. Braxton DeWise, Chris French, James Danforth, and Brian Brobst. Brian Brobst, interesting strategy to stay out. Probably got an EOL coming his way. Oh, he already used his tires, though. That's the problem for him. But so that's going to leave 3 cars, ideally, in between Braxton DeWise and Kyle Terzac. With the way this race is run, you got to wonder if those tires are going to pay off. Looking at best lap times compared to what they were running, tires haven't fallen off that much. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, while we're under this yellow too, if you want, we can take a look back at what brought out the previous caution. That would be with Chris French a little while ago while we were having all of our crazy technical difficulties. But you can see here as we head off into turn number 3, you'll see Chris French down here on the bottom, just like you mentioned. Same thing Ryan Hinkle did, just caught that apron just the wrong way, and yeah, around he went. But no harm, no foul, right? As you can see, he was already making moves back through the field. So
certainly not going to slow him down one bit. We know Chris French is fast, often able to run just a little bit off the pace of the 2 guys at the front, Braxton and Kyle. So I'm sure he's going to take advantage of this pit strategy, stay out a little bit, get some track position, and recover solidly.
Well, also, and while we got a pushed off one to go, let's kick off. So let's get some chat active here. Let's throw down a trivia question, and this one's a dead giveaway. Which NASCAR star and 3-time Daytona 500 champion giveaway winner began his racing career at Langley Speedway? Come on, let's see it in the chat again. The answer is pretty much in the question.
Yeah, real tough if you know how many people have won Daytona 500s and how many times they've done it. Really difficult question there for you guys. But let's get those answers on the track.
Get the answers in the track. You mean the chat? And yes, I'm dyslexic.
Are you making fun of someone with a speech impediment, Justin? That's not very PC of you. Is the pace car.
I have the same problem.
You know I love you. Pace car coming down pit road. Getting ready to get back to the green. Braxton DeWise jumps early. He needs to extend this gap fast. He needs to take advantage of the fact that he's clear right now and that Kyle Terzac might be held up a little bit by these slow cars. Devin Jack to the inside of Kyle Terzac there. Let's ride on board with, let's keep our eyes on Kyle Terzac here. That's going to be the story to watch here. See how fast he can carve through this field. See how quickly he can get back to the leader of Braxton DeWise. Kyle Terzac, you see him there, stuck on the outside. Devin Jack to his inside. French and Danforth in front of him. If you're Kyle Terzac, this is just not what you want to see. This is just not where it wants to be. Side by side in front of him. Might get clear of Devin Jack here. Not quite. He's going to have to get aggressive here as he nearly knocks Chris French up the track. Looking to make it 3 wide. Just about. Nope, has to back out of it. You got Devin Jack down the inside. Justin?
He is completely stuck on the outside, which is where you do not want to be, and he's just thinking about making it 3 wide, but he knows the repercussion of doing so. And it looks like he's finally able to get to the bottom.
Yeah, finally able to get to the bottom. Lost a couple spots there, but I'm sure that's better than being stuck on the outside. Trying to work their way back up to Chris French. As look at the front of the field and the gap that Braxton DeWise has extended. 1.5 seconds out front. James Danforth nearly misses the bottom. Kyle Terzac into the side of the 08 there of Garrett Lane. Hopefully the right side of that car is okay. I'm sure it is. Now, Kyle Terzac free of most of the traffic. Now he's got to run down Devin Jack and then eventually Braxton DeWise. But Braxton has a 1.5 second advantage out front. That's a tall order in 55 laps. Can you do it?
No, he's doable, but he still has to pass Devin Jack, and we've seen how strong Devin Jack is, especially running that bottom lane. He's going to have to make a move, and he's going to have to do it quick once he catches him.
Yeah, I think Terzac's real advantage here, as I've been watching these past few laps, On entry, he is unbeatable. Look at the way he gets into turn 3, for example. He's just going to be so much later getting on the brakes than anyone else. Anyone else in this field easily gets to the inside of Devin Jack, rolls the bottom, see you bye. Devin Jack back to third. Kyle Terzac sets his eyes on Braxton DeWise out front. Now, if you're Braxton DeWise, I'm imagining you might want to see a caution here soon so you can come get those tires for yourself. Because who knows how much Kyle had to eat those up trying to get through those few cars there.
You know, I don't know. I think Braxton's bed is made. I think he's going to run this thing the rest of the way out, even if a yellow comes out, because really he doesn't have a choice because all those other drivers that did pit, he can't afford to get put that far back, especially with only, we have 50 laps to go.
Yeah, 50 laps, 51 laps to go right now. Battle is shaping up. Looking at lap times, last lap, Braxton DeWise a little bit faster. Kyle Terzac right there, though. They're within a couple hundredths of each other, and that's just not quite going to be enough to get it done. Going to be interesting to watch here. We'll keep our eye on that. A little further back in the field, do we have any battles going on? Robert Brope's nearly to the inside of Benson Weaver. Let's see what goes on here. These guys right on top of each other. Benson Weaver in the 6th position. Robert Brope's in 7th, trying to hold him off. A little bit of damage on the nose of the Benson Weaver machine. Not too bad. But we'll see if Robert can make something happen. See that heart rate up there at 124, 125 beats per minute. Robert's working in that race car right now, trying to find a way past Benson Weaver, who's glued to the bottom. Nearly spins coming off the corner there. That was close. Okay, let's get to the inside. These two are slideways every corner. So fun to watch. Look at Robert to the inside. Spins Benson Weaver. That's both Bropes committing hate crimes against my GOAT. Oh my gosh. Johnny, let's get a replay here, see what happened.
Well, I think we saw it coming for about 3 laps there. Yeah, we see Benson is loose, and man, this battle between him and Bropes just incredible. See a little bit of a crossover down to the grass. The 5 goes, washes up the track a little bit. It might be a little bit after this that we see the contact made. Yeah, maybe the 5 running out of patience. He gets that run all the way down to the bottom again. Benson tries to cover, and the contact is made. Once again, a slow spin for Benson. Not too much damage. We see the 56 of Jacob Phillips involved as well, checking up for the wreck. And, man, they're all going to live to fight another day here.
There's one driver that did not want to see that yellow, and I guarantee you it was that number 8 machine.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Braxton DeWise, especially after running as far as he did and to build that gap that he had. That's super unfortunate. But he did come down, take those tires. Looking like he's going to restart 8th, which is going to put him on the top. Not sure that's where he wants to be, but remains to be seen. That's going to be a fun story to watch. I think he's going to need at least one more caution once he gets up there to have a chance at this, but we'll see what happens here. Oh, as another car pulls off, that's going to put Braxton DeWise up to 7th. That's going to put Braxton on the inside. That's exactly what Braxton wanted to see. If he can restart 7th, he'll be on the inside lane, see if he can make a couple moves. So, Justin, you're behind the wheel of that 8 car. You thought you had the race figured out. It's all turned on its head. What's the game plan?
Honestly, the game plan is just to hope that the C's part and allows the, everybody just gets out of my way. I mean, in reality, it's going to be tough because Kyle Terzac's going to be able to put some serious lap times down out front. So I think Braxton's going to really have to rely on getting up to probably 2nd or 3rd and hoping a quick yellow comes out once he gets there.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's no way I think he can do it without a good couple cautions, but we will see. A little bit of confusion here as they've got Braxton DeWise on the outside for some reason. But anyway, pace car is off. Field in the hand of Kyle Terzac. Goes about in the middle of the box. Easily clears Devin Jack. They're going to be side by side for second behind him with Garrett Lane and Devin Jack. Devin's working the high side there. Needs to get a good run off this corner and get clear if you want to hold on to that second place spot. Not quite. I think Garrett Lane's going to have a really good opportunity here to send it through as Brian Bropes around off the bumper of the 56, spins to pit road, and we are still green, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Bropes going to make it down pit road, try to drive back up onto the racetrack. Okay, nope, not sure what he's doing. Brian Bropes is parked in turn 4. The leader's coming up on him. I don't know what Brian Brobst is doing there, but that was
I know
that
what
was
he
a
doing.
choice.
Bringing out the caution.
Yeah, I guess that was a choice. As always, he gets into the side of Robert Brobst there. What are we doing? Okay, interesting. Anyway.
Many a times. I'm not saying I ever done this in my racing career. Many a times where I was involved in a wreck and they didn't throw a yellow, so I pretended like I was trying to start my car back up. Back when I was dirt racing, got to bring out that yellow.
Oh, we've got beef. We've got drivers arguing with race control, and that's never going to work well for you. It's Brian Brobst letting the race director know that he was not a fan of the caution not coming out. But to be fair to Brian Brobst, he spun to pit road, so I don't know why the caution would come out in the first place. But anyway, I digress. Braxton DeWise made his way up to 5th through all that. This is what Braxton DeWise needs. Start on the inside, grab a couple spots, quick yellow. Start on the inside, grab a couple spots, quick yellow. And by the time we know it, he'll be right there with Kyle Terzac, and it'll be on. The race will be going.
Well, I think it's time we bring back our trivia question.
I got a pretty good idea as to who the answer is, because I think only one of those guys won 3 Daytona 500s, and it might happen to be my co-host's favorite driver and one of my top 3, Denny Hamlin. Am I correct, Justin?
You would be correct, sir. Denny Hamlin, he's pretty much the only one that's won 3 days. He's a 3-time Daytona 500 champion. Yeah, pretty much get dead giveaway.
Yeah, that'll certainly do it. I didn't look at the chat. I've had my eyes glued to the action. I'm sure we got some people giving the answers. Yep. A few people giving the right answer. Of course, our race sponsor, the UNO podcast. Weezer 8 giving the right answer as well. As down the backstretch, pace car getting ready to make its way to pit road. All eyes are going to be on Braxton DeWise after we get going here. Kyle Terzac waits till about the midpoint of the box, jumps again, easily clears Garrett Lane as they're going to be side-by-side for second behind him, as we've got Braxton DeWise to the inside of Dylan Potts there, looking to make it 4th position with those fresh tires. Looks like he's going to sail it off in there and get that position. Yep, now he's got his sights set on Devin Jack and Garrett Lane. He needs to make quick work of these guys. Laps are ticking down. Garrett Lane on the high side there. Devin Jack looks like he's probably going to get clear off the corner, and that's going to leave Garrett Lane into the hands of Braxton DeWise nearly. Oh, is almost into the rear bumper of Devin Jack goes Garrett Lane. Braxton DeWise hard charging right now on those 4 fresher tires than these guys. Not that much fresher. 20 laps is the difference there. Not sure how many of those are green flag laps, but I digress. Braxton DeWise not quite making the time I thought he would. Last lap, not quite as fast as I would have expected. 2nd fastest car on track. Look at him. There he goes. Now he's looking to the inside of Garrett Lane. Wraps that bottom. We're going to be side by side off the front stretch, Justin.
Yeah, Kyle Terzac just put the fastest lap time of the race down with a 15.496, which is just a hair slower than what he ran in qualifying. So these guys are just, especially Kyle, just putting some quick times down. It's going to be hard for anybody else to keep up.
Yep, and if you're Braxton DeWise, I think you're looking for a caution here. I think your only hope at bringing this thing forward is a caution. As behind we've got contact between Dylan Potts and Garrett Lane. Nearly 3 wide. Chris French getting himself in the mix as well. Heck of a battle going on here between these guys. As they finally get it sorted out. Dylan Potts, impressive run up there in the 5th position. Good run for him as Garrett Lane down to the inside of, around getting past on the inside by James Danforth. James Danforth finally making his way up a little bit tonight. Been a quiet night out of James Danforth. That's usually a guy we hear a little bit more from in these races. In that number 88 machine. Currently 7th. In front of him, we've got Chris French looking to the inside of Dylan Potts. They are not quite there. Look at Chris French just hounding the rear bumper. He really needs to get himself forward if he wants to hold on to that 3rd place in the championship. Going to be interesting to follow to see how far forward he can get us. Look at this view. What a great whiplash sim cam we have right here off the roof of the 53 as he gets into the rear bumper of the 2 car. good on him backing out of it, letting the 2-car catch himself, saying, I'm not going to pass you like that. I'll do it the right way. Settles back in. Now he needs to start making something happen.
Yeah, Chris French, aside from last week, had just done nothing put consecutive top threes down. So he's looking to try and get his way back up there, maybe continue that streak of top threes, kind of just throw last week out the window with that late race spin that he had. But yeah, he's got to get past that 2-car, and he's a little bit faster, but that 2 is just putting his car in the right spot so he don't get past.
Yeah, it's the thing with this track everyone was telling me about is if you hold the right line, it's going to be real hard to get around you. It's kind of the story throughout the field here. Braxton DeWise, we can see up there in the 3rd position, still trying to get his way around Devin Jack, just not quite able to do it as Kyle Terzac is just pulling away from these guys lap after lap. That gap continues to grow. Chris French nearly spinning. Sorry to drag you back there, producer. Chris French nearly spins Dylan Potts again. Finally gets to his inside. He got into his corner, his left rear again off of turn 2 and got to the inside and said, all right, man, this time I was nice the first time. This time I got to get going. And there he goes. Chris French clear in the 5th position. James Danforth now looking to follow him through. Battle is heating up for 2nd place right now, side by side. As look at Braxton DeWise finally gets to the inside there. Gonna be clear going into turn 3. What's the gap? 1.7 seconds. 20 laps to go. Justin, what's it gonna take?
It's going to take a caution. I think Kyle's just put such a big lead down, and right now Braxton DeWise not really putting the lap times, even though he just got back by him. We'll see this time by Terzac with a 15.76, but Braxton DeWise with a 15.9, 2/10 that lap.
Yeah, that's just not quite enough to do it. In a perfect world, he needs to be making up about a 1/10 a second, and we just don't quite have that pace right now. So yeah, I think you're right. It's going to need to be a caution for him. But not going to say that's not possible, as we've got, look at this battle for 3rd right here. Jacob Phillips and Devin Jack. Jacob Phillips charging up here, trying to get by Devin Jack, seeing if he can stick his nose to the inside. But Devin Jack is a very tough guy to pass. One of the more respectful guys in the field, but also one of the harder ones to pass.
Yeah, Devin Jack, man, just coming off with a great season so far, too. You can see it right there. 4 top 5s out of the 5 races we've had. And just a little bit better luck. I think he'd be right up there in the mix with Braxton and Kyle Terzac for this championship battle. Right now, proving once again that he is fast, running into 3rd place, holding off Jacob Phillips, who was up front leading a lot of the race earlier.
Yeah, Jacob Phillips is a guy that we really need to talk about. Had a horrible week last week at South Boston. Told me in pre-race how much that disappointed him. He also considers Sobo one of his home tracks. Looking for a little bit of redemption tonight, and so far, it's a heck of a drive for it. He's put on a great show as he clobbers the outside wall off of turn 2. A little bit of commentator's curse there. But, Justin, what are you looking at? Oh, car around on the front stretch. Nearly they save it. It's James Danforth and Garrett Lane. Half spun coming off turn 4 and then drove each other into the inside wall. We stay green. Front right is
Yep, maybe we can get a side-by-side of that incident, but right now we're going to stay alive right now. About a 2-second gap back to 2nd place from Kyle Terzac. Braxton DeWise still holding strong in 2nd there. Devin Jack and Jacob Phillips.
Oh, Ryan, Robert Brooks just went for a ride off of turn 3. We're going to need to get a replay of that. That looked like it might have hurt a little bit. Not sure who caused that. I would definitely like to see, but coming through turn 3, I just saw the underside of the 5 car. Uh-oh.
We're going to see. It looks like, yeah, just drove it in a little too deep. Got too hard on the brakes, and that thing's going to snap sideways. Does he hit the wall? Yes. Oh, man. Some pretty good impact to the front end there, but it's going to live the fight on here.
Yeah, rough day for the Bropes boys, both of them. We saw Brian Bropes involved with that incident earlier, no longer here at the racetrack, went ahead and called it a night. And now Robert with that incident. That's just a tough day at the office for those guys. The
well,
field
we have
seems
a-
to have calmed down.
Yeah, we have a few laps to go. We can go back and take a look at the incident between Danforth and Garrett Lane as well. You can see here off in turn 3, you can just see them side by side and just a little kiss from the 08, but he straightens them back out.
Just a little bit of contact with the inside wall there. And the big beneficiary out of that was the 31 car. Managed to scoot by both of them there. Well, guys, it's a sight we're used to seeing. It's 5 laps to go. And Kyle Terzac is putting on a clinic yet again. Oh, we got a battle right here between Chris French and Jacob Phillips really quick. Let's draw our attention to that really quick. Very close. Chris French looking to the inside, trying to get there sideways on entry to the corner. Gets to the inside of the 56 of Jacob Phillips. Jacob Phillips driving with all the heart that he has left in him, trying to make this pass, trying to not allow it to happen. But Chris French gonna make his way by into the 4th place position. Sets his sights forward on Devin Jack. I just don't think he's gonna have the laps to get there. So we've got let's take a look with our leader here. Let's follow him through for these last few laps, as there's nothing really happening on track. Cars are not too close with each other. It's just been a perfect season aside from that opener for Kyle Terzac. I mean, what more can you ask for? If this runs out and he's getting ready to take the white flag, it's going to be 5 races in a row for Kyle Terzac. So there it is, the white flag in the UNO Langley Clash. Off of turn 2 for the final time. Kyle Terzac, this will be his 53rd lap led, his 5th race win in a row. Give the win in the checkered flag to Kyle Terzac, who is looking, dare I say, unstoppable at this point. Braxton DeWise brings it home with a really solid 2nd place on those new tires. Just ran out of time, not quite able to capitalize and get up there. Devin Jack once again on the podium, with Chris French and Jacob Phillips rounding out the top 5. Kyle Terzac coming down to park it in the victory lane area. So we see Chris French coming to say hi there on the other side of the wall. What a clinic from Kyle Terzac. He got the lead and he never once looked back. He overcame the challenge from Braxton DeWise a couple times there on a few restarts, battled back, able to hold on to it. Just a fantastic drive out of Kyle Terzac. What do you guys think?
Oh, hands down. I mean, you expect anything different, honestly. I mean, that 15 is fast. It's just once he gets out to the lead, it's tough.
Yeah, certainly a tough guy to pass. As Johnny, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back with some interviews with our top 3 podium finishers. We will hear now from Whiplash Simcams. Back again, we are here from Langley. Got our finishers to look at here. For some reason, I don't see Devin Jack coming into the waiting room here. Looks like we might be talking to Jacob Phillips instead. Or no, there he is. Devin Jack, 3rd place finisher. Talk us through that race, buddy.
There's some people that say short track racing is trying to do the perfect coin flip 150 times or 125 in this race's case, and where this track barely has a single lane, this thing is the embodiment of that statement. You make one small slip up, and in my case, you let DeWise by and lose your second place.
And that's what it was. We didn't quite see it on the broadcast. He made a little slip, and that let Braxton in there.
Yeah, I screwed up. I think it was 2 corners in 3 laps, and that was just enough for him to get his nose down there, and I knew better than to chop him because that would have ruined it for both of us. I was I was doing my best holding on, but that was the end of it.
Yeah, talk about how hard it was to pass tonight.
Well, this track is it's about as, like, there's one lane, and and that lane's barely there. You make any kind of slip up, somebody gets under you, that's it. You can't run on the outside long without shredding the tires. So it's really, you either use the bumper or wait for somebody to screw up like what I did. And that's really the only way you can get around here. Track position is king.
Absolutely. We saw it all night. Do you think that had that couple errors not happened, you would have been able to hold on to second place, or do you think at the end of the day Braxton had the pace?
He didn't really pull away from me afterwards, so unless he decided to just coast after he got by me, he might have done enough damage to his tires where if I could have held on another 10 laps, I might have been able to keep second. Just maybe.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, Devin, great job tonight. Who gets it done for you? Any sponsors you want to shout out? Anybody at home watching that you want to say hey to?
Yeah, just Johnny, Justin, you, everyone here doing the broadcast. A bit of a light field, so surprised that it ran as well as it did. Given the shorter number of cars, makes sense. It's like last week, we had a lot of long green runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Devin, we appreciate you talking with us for a little bit here. Good luck next week, and good luck in the championship. Third place definitely on the cards.
No, thank you.
Thank you. That was Devin Jack, your third place finisher. Johnny Rapp, I believe you may have caught up with our second place finisher, Braxton DeWise.
Yes, it looks like, yeah, we're going to bring him in now. And once again, coming up in second place here, looks like he may be muted at the moment, but we'll give him a second to get to the mic.
Earth to Braxton DeWise. Do we have a copy of Braxton DeWise? Well, I guess we could always do him last. Oh, nope, Braxton DeWise, there you are. Johnny Rapp, take it away.
Yep, Braxton, well, yet again, coming home second place, man. Put on a clinic here tonight, and man, just maybe the wrong tire strategy kind of took it out of your hands, man. What more did you need to catch up to that number 15?
Just more about taking advantage of the opportunities when I have them. I got in front of him, and then he made a little crossover move in 1 and 2, and I didn't counter it as well, and he was able to get back around me, and I never really had the opportunity to get back around him. He went up there, got around Jacob. I felt like if I was able to get around Jacob sooner and more, and that would have put me in the lead. Taking control definitely would have helped me. I probably wouldn't have chose the strategy that I did if I were in the lead. But I was like, you know what? Let's just try something here. I know I tried at Darlington and it wasn't all that much, but we'll try it here where there's a little bit more wear. And we were at least able to get back to second. We just never really got that caution to get them all bound. Y'all get them back together. I know that I had it was close to about a second to a second and a half lead when I stayed on tires and there was a caution, and it bunched us all back up together. So just all about taking advantage of the opportunities that we have, and quit stepping on it. And we need to come home with one of these, but it's still good to finish second. If we think about it, if Kyle wasn't here, I'd be on a hell of a roll right now too. So nonetheless, he's on a hell of a roll, and I was just telling my stream, that's what I was wrapping up right there. Sorry if I didn't answer in time, but I was just telling him, we just gotta take advantage of that stuff and just hit our marks more. It's what it's all about. Is what it is.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it's nothing to hang your head about. Still an impressive show. And really, between you and Kyle, I mean, with the tire strategies and just being able to drive your way through the field in the first place, you guys were definitely putting on some really good passes. How was the racing out there with the likes of Devin Jack, Chris French, and some of those other competitors that were up front?
Pretty good. With Langley being around the bottom and it being a flatter track, that usually makes passing a little bit more difficult. I felt like we were able to work with the car a little bit more this week. We were able to, I felt like we were able to get a little bit more rotation off the rear. I ended up finishing the race with my right rears being hotter and a little bit more wear, so I'm happy with that personally. I strive a little bit better with a car that can rotate a little bit more. I struggle just in general across the board with a car that is a little bit more on the tighter side. I'm surprised I have as many wins as I do on iRacing, because they usually always are tight setups no matter what. But nonetheless, it's like I said the weeks before, we're all on the same setups here, and I was pretty happy with it this week. And I still finished 2.9 seconds back, but it's just all about taking advantage of them opportunities, like I said, like 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, hey, you still put on a show for us here tonight, and we do appreciate that. We're heading to Five Flags next week. Is that one you got circled on your list?
They're usually always circled, but that one is a pretty fun track. We'll just see how it turns out. It'd probably help if I turned more laps and just learned a little bit more. I feel like we obviously need to learn just that little bit more if we want to contend with Kyle a little bit more each week. Even though we're finishing second, we need to be on top of it a little bit more. So I don't know. We'll see if we can figure anything out. We just got to put time into it. So looking forward to it.
Sounds good, and you know what time it is. It seems like your favorite time because you're so dang good at it. But it is the floor is yours for any sponsor shout-outs. Friends, family at home watching, have at it.
Well, I tell you, it definitely helps. I'm reading off this interview thing that I have in my Discord. It definitely helps. I put it in there because I knew I'd need to use it. But a big shout out to DeWise Renovations. I'm happy to have solid runs in this car. Each run that I've had in this car, I don't think I finished worse than second, if I'm not mistaken. I've gotten a win in it, so that's good. But nonetheless, they're pretty good runs. So I'm happy about that. Also, big shout out to Interstate 4, Breeders Ice Cream Shop, Alan's Arts Images, Steak Time, Elevated TV, Paid Leave, Wood Nickel Band, Ghost Train, Short Track Report, Scrubbing Tires Media, Evan Piano Designs, and Our Pizza House in Winchester, Indiana for helping us roadster folks and helping the Speedway. They sell pizza there, and it's pretty good. So looking forward to going and racing at Winchester, and I'm just looking forward to going and racing in general, wherever it may be. Hopefully we can just keep on keeping on, and hopefully we can get some more opportunities. But it definitely helps to win. But nonetheless, solid runs still help. So we'll move on 5 Flags next week. But we got one more SRL race this week over at Coda West. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to that one. I got to make sure I stay on the track. I've practiced a little bit, and I tell you, that new corner is definitely getting me a little bit of troubles. So definitely got to put some laps and try to lower that time a little bit compared to the other laps. But we'll just do the best we can, as always.
Yep, sounds good. And hey, we're always rooting you on, and we'll see you out there on track. I'll see you out there on track at Coda. It's going to be a blast. And hopefully we get to see you up here next week. Go celebrate that podium finish, Braxton DeWise.
I appreciate it. We got the Triple J's, and Jimmy, you're first this time. How about it? Jimmy,
Hey.
And then we got Johnny and Justin. Sorry, Justin, you're last, but that's okay. Come out of retirement, and then maybe you'll be first. How about that?
I'll remember that.
Come out and race with us one time this year, man.
I gotta if Johnny will let me out of the booth, I will.
Alrighty, well, Johnny,
We can
I'll
give him a
better
past
get on.
champions provisional for sure. I mean, hey.
sounds good. Well, y'all take
If it
care.
lets me show up at Super Speedways, I'll show up.
Bam. Well, you better help me then. Y'all take care now.
Thank you, Braxton.
Right on. That was tonight's second place finisher, Braxton DeWise. And up next is going to be Kyle Terzac. Jimmy, I believe you've caught up with Kyle.
Oh, I thought Justin was going to do it, but I'll happily talk to my buddy Kyle Terzac. Kyle Terzac. Great win tonight. Honestly, at this point, we need to just hire you to spend all your time up here with us. We talk to you so much after these things. Tell us about tonight, man.
Yeah, this was a really fun racetrack for me. You know, I ran here once here in real life and in a late model stock car, so you know, this track has always been good to me on the sim, and not so much real life, but we don't get into that. But coming in the night, I knew that we have a slight points gap over Braxton, so I just need to stay consistent. I saw Braxton was pushing a little bit there at the beginning, so I kind of stayed behind and saved some tire, which I did pretty well. And then we had that caution and got the second there, and Jacob was starting to slip and slide around, so I just saw my opportunity and took the lead. And he took the tires early because I thought we had to stay with the track position game there, because I know sometimes if you get, you know, passed on our pit stops, or someone, you know, does an early pit stop and you have to fight them, it's kind of difficult. I mean, you could do it. You know, I felt like Braxton could have got me there if he had a caution, but yeah, that was you know, getting through the field. The second half was a bit scary. Definitely had to work for that a little bit, and then Braxton pitting just put us in the lead there. So you know, this, like I said, I love this track. I thought New Smyrna was my favorite, but I didn't see this on the schedule, so this is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, are you going to tell us next week's your favorite next? It was great fun for us to watch you guys carving through, though.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun, especially if you use that apron in 1 and 2. That's just the main way to pass here. And then, you know, hopefully that's the way for Stafford too. I know that the apron, in the modifieds at least, not so much the late model, you can use the apron to pass. But, you know, it's going to be a challenge in itself. First, we got 5 flags. That should be pretty fun. Even though not in the super, late model stockers is pretty much flat foot there. Just a little off throttle time, and then it just immediately put back up. So that should be fun, because, you know, 5 flags is actually a little bit of a cheese grater with the late model stock. So that should be fun on that side, and hopefully start in and out this season with you know, a lot of consistent finishes and go get us a championship.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for your time again. Who gets it done for you? Give us those sponsor shout-outs. Who's watching at home?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for putting this on. Arkansas Shop for everything you do on the open side. Got 3 out of the 5 SOFs tonight, so a lot of strong guys tonight. Me with the SK and late model stock, and Hale with the super. So good job to everyone there. Hot Shot Photography, the best iRacing photos around. Cold Buddy Raps for transitioning this thing to iRacing. Matthew Designs for the real life stuff. Terzac Racing on Facebook. Everybody's watching back at home, and yeah, you guys for putting this on.
Well, thank you so much, folks. That is your race winner and championship leader, 5 in a row, Kyle Terzac, looking to make it 6 next week. Kyle, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, a great night of racing from Langley. Comers, goers. Kyle looked like he had a little bit of a challenge tonight, for a little bit there at least. We want to take this moment to thank everyone for tuning in to the UNO Clash from Langley. Next week, we will be running at the Stafford Motor Speedway, I believe, Johnny, if that's correct. 5 flags? 5 flags. That's what you get for giving me a mic. Next week, it'll be 5 Flags Speedway, followed by Stafford, USA, and Wilkesboro. A bunch of exciting racing up ahead. That's with the Monday series. Another series we need to take a look at the schedule for. We have the Slingshot O'Reilly series, which heads to the COTA NASCAR circuit this week. I'm really looking forward to running that race. Johnny, I don't know about you, but I love these road courses and these O'Reilly series cars. I think that's going to be a great watch for everybody at home. Hope you guys will join us then. And then Thursday, we will have the NSRLA series running at the Echo Park Speedway, Atlanta. Going to be another great show here on Slingshot TV this coming Thursday as they get ready to set up for their final race of the season at Phoenix. Do we have point standings ready to take a look at, Johnny?
Yeah, we absolutely do. Just give me 1 second here. We're gonna go
Let's
back
take a look at our
into
point
here. We're going to
standings.
look at our points. Yes.
Yeah, Kyle Terzac extends that gap out front over Braxton DeWise. Real battle right now that I've got my eyes on, though, is Chris French and Devin Jack for third place. That continues to heat up every week as Devin Jack continues to knock off these top fives. Chris French, a bit of a rougher night tonight in the office, but still recovered to a decent finish. That's going to be a really fun battle to watch from these guys as they keep trading podiums back and forth. Rest of your top 5 in points, we've got Garrett Lane. Let's go ahead and run through the rest of the top 10 while we're at it. Dylan Potts in 6th, Benson Weaver in 7th, Martin Piccatelli, haven't seen him this week, will be in 8th. James Danforth in 9th, and Robert Brobst currently sitting 10th in points. Super fun to watch. Super great battle we've got going on here as we begin the second half of the season. But that will bring us out of it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll run through your finishing order one more quick time here for you. Finishing first for the 5th time in a row, Kyle Terzac. Braxton DeWise brings it home 2nd. Devin Jack finishes a strong 3rd with Chris French in 4th. Jacob Phillips brings it home 6th. Dylan Potts 7th. Did I get out of whack there? I did. Jeez. Jacob Phillips 5th. Dylan Potts 6th. Randy Grossen 7th. James Danforth in 8th. Garrett Lane 9th. Benson Weaver in 10th. Ryan Hinkle brought it home 11th. Ryan Brobst, a lap down, finishes 12th. Brian Brobst, after his unfortunate incident, finishes last of the starters in 13th. That's going to do it for us here at the UNO Clash for the SRL Pro Late Model Series. I want to thank everyone in the chat for joining us tonight, talking with us, having a good time. Our giveaway winner for a pack of cards is going to be Emily Westlake 08. Go ahead and shoot an email to SRL, I think it's SRL Racing. I can't read, I don't have my glasses on. Johnny, what's that email?
I can't read it either. I believe it's SS Racing Leagues at
There you go.
gmail.com.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and send us an email to get your free pack of NASCAR trading cards. That being said, ladies, gentlemen, thank you for joining us so much. It's been a pleasure to broadcast for you guys. We will see you all next week. It's going to be another great show for you. On behalf of Johnny and Justin, I am Jimmy Moore doing play-by-play, and we will see you guys next week.